What is good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down some very important levels to be watching for as time progresses and what's happening with the news affecting Tesla, as we had a new piece of news come out that caused Tesla to drop the way it did today. But before I break down all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks. It's not, for instance, just one day, then it's tomorrow, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, let's break down what's going on with the markets. So, looking at the market, we're starting to see buyers stepping in for SPY, the Nasdaq, the QQQ, the S&P 500, futures, and even like Apple stock. We're seeing buyers defending and trying to push the market up. And Tesla has tried to kind of like base thanks to that, but Tesla's not looking that strong or anything like that for now, because we had this news come out that Tesla falls as the production cut has been made by Panasonic because of some EV demand fears. They're basically worried over the fact that the EVs, their demand could be slowing down. So they're going to be cutting their battery production. And this could be a bad sign for Tesla because of the fact that the soft demand could hurt their numbers. It could hurt their overall outlook. And this may not be the best of news for Tesla's futures and their earnings and etc. So this is just another piece of news that was on top of so many other pieces of news for Tesla. Tesla also announced recent price cuts and things like that. So it's not the best of news. And this had a very negative effect on Tesla's share price. But now, looking at the way Tesla's looking, it's looking weaker on the bigger time frames, but on the smaller time frames, it's trying to hold this 194 support. So we're going to be watching that very carefully going into tomorrow. We need to see if the overall market could help Tesla. On top of this, you have to look at the fact that we have the FOMC meeting on Wednesday. If the whole market gets a big bounce, a big squeeze, this could help Tesla try to return above 200. But we have to be watching for that very carefully to see if Tesla could do that. We want to be watching to see how the news looks. So for now, how is Tesla looking? The answer is on the weekly chart, Tesla's looking more bearish as of right now, but we have critical support very close to the 200 EMA on the weekly, so that's going to be around this just under 197, so very close to that. That is acting as support for Tesla. It's barely holding that for now. So the weekly 200 EMA is helping it for the time being. But on the daily, the thing is on the daily, we're still on a downtrend. This isn't looking as strong, not looking as nice. And I'm not seeing anything special with the RSI or anything going on. It's still downtrending. We still have a lot of bearish momentum on Tesla, so we're going to be watching to see if buyers defend this going into tomorrow. If we could try to hold 194 and establish a change in the structure, because Tesla is very oversold on the daily. The RSI is only at 25, and it is due for a bounce thanks to that. But we're going to be watching to see what news comes out and things like that. But right now, on the bigger time frames, it is possible for Tesla to go a little bit lower. But on the smaller time frames for the rest of today, it looks like Tesla's trying to base. So we're going to be very careful. And I think that's we're just going to be watching this on a level basis. And then we're going to be watching to see what the Fed causes, because that could change how Tesla moves nonetheless. So what is Tesla doing? It's getting very tight right now. If Tesla tries to get above 198, watch that as resistance. We're going to be watching 200 next. We want to get above 200 to give this thing some life. Otherwise, it's not going to look the best. Now, if Tesla continues to sink down, we have some support right here at 196.25. If we lose this, watch it come all the way down towards 195 and then 194.67. Those are some important levels, that entire zone. If we lose the low of the day today, you're going to be watching this 193 area, which was historical support, but it's very minor support, so nothing too crazy. Below that, we have 190. We have some support there, nothing too crazy. And we have stronger support at 186 coming next if we lose 190. So watch these levels very carefully. There is a risk of Tesla potentially coming lower because of this little wedge developing. It's forming like a pennant. So we'll see which way it breaks. It's just getting tighter and tighter. But for now, just know that Tesla's kind of like range trading for the rest of the day. It's looking a bit weaker on the bigger time frames. And it needs a catalyst to switch course. It needs something good, something decent to help this thing try to flip directions. We're going to be watching for this over the next couple of days. So even though Tesla's looking weaker on the bigger time frames, okay, that does not mean that Tesla has to crash all the way down to 180 or anything like that just yet. And the reason I say that is because the market is showing some life, and that could help Tesla. But what else could bolster Tesla is going to be the FOMC meeting. If Jerome Powell and the Fed announce a pause, right? If that were to happen and the Fed is a little bit less restrictive than some analysts are saying, or if the Fed does what the market has been anticipating, that is pausing, that could help the whole market bounce. It's a real possibility. And if that happens on Wednesday, that could help Tesla try to make its way back up above the 200s. Tesla could try to rebound anyways and try to hold a lot better. So there is still potential for Tesla to bounce and make its way back up. So don't necessarily just lose faith just yet. And even if Tesla does drop lower, right, it's still a possibility approaching FOMC, right? It's going to be okay. This is just another buying opportunity. Nothing to panic over, nothing to be too scared of. It's going to be okay. All right, so I see this as another opportunity. I want to be optimistic nonetheless, so it's going to be fine. But now let's break down SPY very briefly. How's SPY looking? I warned everyone that for SPY, we had a potential inverse head and shoulders like structure developing on it, but there is a risk of it potentially coming down a little bit to try to fill this gap down here before it tried to get that bounce. And what happened was we ended up not dropping that much to fill the gap. We dropped a little bit, but we ended up, it wasn't really that much of a drop. It was very minor. And then we ended up getting the bounce anyways. So the bounce did happen like I was expecting, but it didn't drop as much beforehand. Now we're trying to uptrend, getting very close to this 200 EMA on the 30 minutes time frame. And if we manage to close where we currently are at the 416 level, what's good about the chart would be on the daily, we have a very, very nice potential reversal candlestick that's developing. And this could turn very bullish as the next couple of days perpetuate. So going into the FOMC meeting, the market is very optimistic. Let's hope the Fed gives the market what it's looking for, and this could help the market continue to bounce as we approach November for a very nice end of the year squeeze. This is something that's been talked about on this channel for quite a while, and I think that could help Tesla uptrend too. But first, let's see what the Fed causes to see if that could help Tesla. Now, for some levels to watch for on SPY, I'm going to try to be kind of quick when I go through this. On SPY, we're going to be watching this critical resistance right over here, which is very close to where we are. We're going to be watching this resistance at this 416.5 area. We're very close to that. That's where this previous wick was. If we break this, watch 417. That's where we have this previous wick, very close to that. We have 418 above this. If we get above 418, I'm expecting 420 pretty quickly. If it breaks down, okay, and I'm just going to go over the levels for now. If we break down, watch 416 as support. If we lose that, the next critical support is going to be very close to 415. If we lose this, watch 414.5 to 414.3. And if we lose that, 413.3 is the next critical level. Right now, it's uptrending. We have a nice uptrend on the 4 hour, on the 30 minutes time frame. The daily is starting to look more bullish, and the weekly looks like we're trying to reverse. And with this nice inverse head and shoulder structure, it looks like this thing wants to continue higher. So we're still continuing to uptrend. We're seeing the bulls taking over. So I anticipate even more potential upside. As of right now, it's holding up quite nicely, so watch these levels. On the QQQ, same thing is going on. I warned you all about this thing potentially coming down to about 345 and then bouncing, or it could just like try to hold very close to where we were. Instead of actually dropping down to fill this gap at 345 to bounce, it ended up holding 346.5. So it held that quite nicely. Now we're watching this critical resistance up here. We have a nice, inverse head and shoulder structure on the triple Q as well. If we break 350, watch this thing push up for 352. That's where we have this trend line of resistance. If we break that where the imbalance happens to be, watch 353.5 and then 355 above that. If we reject off 350, this thing could start sinking towards 348. That's going to be the next critical support. There's some minor support at 348.75, but nothing too significant. If we lose to 348, watch this thing come down towards 346.5 and potentially even fill the gap. But as of right now, we're not looking bearish. We're looking more bullish. It looks like it's trying to fight for 350. I would love to see us try to close above that, but we'll have to wait and see. Right now, it's favoring the bulls a lot more, so watch for more potential upside, or at least an attempt to break above some key levels. Nvidia did almost exactly what we were predicting. We were talking about this thing dropping to fill the gap very close to 405, and I expected some buyers to step in very quickly. We came down, right? Buyers came right here, and then we came right back up, right? Very nice to witness. Watch this 414 resistance right now. If we break above this 414.5 zone, watch this 417 area all the way up here. If we break that, 420 is going to be on the table, and Nvidia definitely has potential to go even higher. We have a nice inverse head and shoulders like structure with the double bottom down here, which suggests that more upside is on the table, and I could see this thing getting very close to 420 very soon. But if we turn bearish, just hypothetically, make sure to watch 410, 409, and then 407 as key supports, followed by 405. But the odds do favor Nvidia holding up and potentially going higher going into tomorrow. The technicals look quite decent so far. On Aapl, we're seeing something very similar developing. Apple's in this channel trying to uptrend higher and higher. If it comes down here, watch support try to hold in this high 169 area, depending on the timing. And look for a bounce after that. If it tries to bounce and continue higher, if it uptrends approaching its earnings, this could be a decent sign. So we're going to be watching this carefully. We're going to be watching to see how Apple's earnings goes, how this ends up affecting the markets. If Apple holds above the previous level, which is at 170 right now, if we hold this, watch some resistance around 170.75 and then 171.25. Two resistance zones which are worth watching at this trend line. For support, make sure you pay attention to 170. If we lose that, watch 169.6 to 169.7. That's where we have this trend line. If we lose this, watch 169.25, followed by 169 and then 168.5. Apple's looking a bit more bullish. It's on an uptrend. It's holding up quite decent for now. So watch these levels. Let's see if Apple could hold up. And I think that's pretty much it for now, guys. So watch these levels and just know that Tesla, yes, this thing is not in the strongest of places, but it's trying to, base at this 194 area, at least intraday. So let's hope it tries to hold that level. Let's hope, it tries to close above the weekly 200 EMA. As long as it tries to close above this for today, it's going to be in a decent, not necessarily like a decent place, but not like it's not going to be in the worst of places. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's hope Tesla closes above this 200 EMA. Let's hope Tesla tries to hold up temporarily. If it drops more, I'm completely fine with that because, like I said before, it's another buying opportunity. And if Tesla can try to make its way above 200 over the next few days, it's going to be just fine. And don't forget, we have FOMC very soon, so we'll be watching to see how that goes. Anyways, that's it for now. Watch your levels very carefully and just know that Tesla's trying to follow the market now. It's trying to get back above 198. We have some support there, so watch that carefully. And let's just hope that Tesla holds up quite decently for now. All right, so that's it for now. Please take care, everyone. I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace out.